clear back in February of this year, we were cruising around at the Miami Boat Show when we ran across the guys from MaxSea, Gary Gallant, Kyle. They were showing us this new technology they had for a fisherman to really see what's down there underneath the boat. So we decided that this is some equipment we need on our boat to sundown.
Its basis is sailing software, which allows you to calculate fastest points of sail. And from there, we kind of moved into the commercial fishing market. And the sports fishing market is very aggressive, and it just really made sense to bring it out to these guys, and it's been working out really well. Our GPS is positioning our boat on this screen, so at all times we have a very accurate picture of where we are.
What was really kind of neat on this deal was that I could go to hot spots, areas that we have just consistently got strikes out there over the years, but never really knew why, never knew what was on the bottom that could have been generating that kind of activity. We go out there with this equipment, and I'm looking at it, and I say, oh, look at that, there's two big old pinnacles down there on the bottom. You know, they're sitting down there in 3,000 feet of water, and they're sticking up 1,000 feet. There's an area we call out here called the steeple. And what we've always done in the past, you get out there, and there's a house on the shoreline, and there's a church behind it, and you line up that steeple with the church roof when you're 7 or 8 miles out there, and you keep that in line, and it seems like on that line, you get a lot of strikes. And there was a particular area in there where you got even more strikes, more so than the area around it. Well, when we went out there and actually started looking at this equipment and looking at what's on the bottom, there's a little trench right there. And then in that area where we consistently got more strikes than some of the other areas out there, there was two big pinnacles to stick up right there. So the first time, now 20 years, pounding it out there, first time I'm seeing down here on the bottom is what's actually causing that.
So if we go over a mound, the fathometer records it, it'll put it on the picture. We come back over it a month later and that mound has eroded away a little bit. It'll change the picture to fit whatever's actually there, so it's continually updating your data out here.
That's exactly right. Basically, you know, the ocean floor changes constantly. So like you said, there's a small bump. Over time, the current erodes it down a little bit. You're going to keep correcting that. And over time, your charts are therefore able to evolve and constantly change. We'll have the most accurate picture of anyone in the world of Kona Coast.
I'm Captain Norm Isaacs, and along with my son Darren Isaacs and Jeremiah Nottigal, we're chasing marlin off Hawaii's Kona Coast. Our angler is Kyle Maycalf. Now, Kyle works for MaxSea Marine Software. Since he's on board anyway, giving us some training on how to use their software, we decided he ought to take a shot at catching a marlin. It's great when a plan works out, and at least so far, this one is.
Hey, my friend.
What you gonna do now?
Yeah.
Flip in right here.
All right.
Flip on the other side.
All righty.
Let's start cranking.
Crank when you can. Yeah, get him cranking.
Crank right down. Crank right down if you can.
Oh, look at him go. All right, fish.
On top of the
Nice one, nice one. It just worked out like it was scripted. Like I said, you can't do that with marlin fishing. You cannot script what's going to happen out there. You go with whatever does happen. We went in an area called Keho. There's Keho Bay. There's a little bit of a slot in the ledge down there that holds a lot of bait a lot of the time. We went in there and we were cruising around. As we come off this ledge, we're looking at the chart, and here's this big old pinnacle that none of us knew was there. It's a big old stick up that probably went from about it went from about 150 fathoms up about 600 feet. So it was only about 50 fathoms below the water. So as we go out, we see this, and we say, well, let's go cruise over that thing, see what happens. We cruise over there, and as we go across it, and I'm not kidding you, this is my life, as we go across this pinnacle, boom, you know, down it goes. The strike is there. And it was a good, healthy fish, probably 250-pound marlin.
Just crank as hard as you can. Crank as hard as you can.
Keep up with me.
That's it. Crank as hard as you can. Your fish is just going crazy out there, Kyle. It's going crazy.
Your fish is off to the left, going nuts.
I can't think it's going nuts. Nuts.
Here we go.
Just keep on going.
That thing did a circle out there and went back the other way.
Drop crank hard.
I've seen the software out there working and helping people identify where fish are and enable them to catch them. But for me, it was really gratifying to be on both ends of it this time, not only showing the technology and helping them find the fish, but actually completing the process by bringing the fish in myself.
Okay, he's changing his elevation a little bit when he gets up on top. You want to come out of that 1-to-1 and we'll go chase him a little.
Good. congratulations.
Thank you.
You're the first blue marlin and a
That's
Hawaiian
right,
one at
that's
that.
right. It was awesome.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, it was right on cue, wasn't it? We were sitting up there looking at the stuff on your equipment. So we see that hump out there. We're saying, let's go over and look at that hump. You know, the bottom sticking up at about 250 fathoms, and lo and behold, that's the way it's supposed to work.
It couldn't have been more than a minute. We saw that little structure and said, let's check that out. Headed over there, and next thing you know.
If you can guarantee that to happen every time, you could not make enough of those machines. I mean, it just wouldn't happen.
Well, there were just a load of areas out there that have been a constant source of curiosity for me and probably everybody else that fishes out here. You know, you really, there's just nothing better than absolutely knowing what's right down there. We can go fish an area that's been productive, but you're not fishing at anything specific. You're saying, okay, this little area out here. You get your landmarks, you know, it's about this far off that tree or about this far off that mountain, or whatever it is. And here in Kona, you can fish by landmarks because you fish so close to the shoreline. But to actually know what's right down there that you are specifically fishing at, okay, I'm going to go past it this way, and I'm going to turn around, I'm going to come past it that way, and all of these things, it really helps. And so for the rest of the day, we went from what had been at some point in time over the years, a hot spot to another, and tried to identify what was on the bottom that caused it. We didn't find something down there in every situation by any means, but there were certainly some of them we did. Some other areas up a little north of Honokaha Harbor in 400 or 500 fathoms of water, just huge pinnacles that stick up that, as far as I know, nobody really knew they were there.
These pinnacles right here are in like 300 fathoms between the pine trees and the harbor mouth. A lot of good tools.
Like you were saying, people, you know, the best fisherman doesn't always catch the fish. A guy can get lucky one day. A local guy may know the best spots, but you can show up at this program and basically at least put you in the right areas, get you those high percentage spots, and you know you're in good shape then at that point. Darren and Norm and Jeremiah, everybody is very, very interested, and it's great working with people that really appreciate what you're showing them. I have an appreciation of it to an extent, but I think Norm put it best when he said, I've been fishing these waters 20 years, and you're showing me something that I never knew about. So that's very gratifying to have that. Also just, you know, showing them the stuff, having them play around with it, getting comfortable with it. It's very fun.
Just think whatever chunk of the ocean floor you want to look at. That's some wild stuff.
I don't think there'll ever be any particular limitation on the electronic equipment that anybody's going to be able to use on a boat. I mean, we have GPSs and we have fathometers, and now we have this sort of technology that will give you even more information. And as soon as they come along with something that will give you even more information, I guarantee I'll be the first guy in line to use it. You know, you got, in the case of us out here in Hawaii, we got 66 million square miles of water that we're trying to find a fish in. Believe me, we need all the help we can get.
The fathometer records it. It'll put it on the picture.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.